Hey, I'm Matt. Let's try this again considering last time it recorded and then stopped. I'm headed to work and I'm going to talk to you about... Sorry, I'm an idiot. I completely forgot to turn the radio off. But I'm going to talk to you about starting prepping. That's the biggest question I hear from people. It's like, well, I don't even know where to start. Okay, but first I want to give a brief life update. My right shoulder, the reason I am no longer in the Marines, the majority of my disability from the military is my right shoulder, and I'm on my second round of steroids. I had a steroid shot from an urgent care doctor. Basically, that's like a emergency room doctor, but instead of going to an emergency room, they have these clinics set up that are urgent care clinics to take care of smaller stuff that, would clog up an ER. And so I went to an urgent care doctor the day after I separated it. He gave me a steroid shot. And I followed up with my doctor, and it hadn't gotten better, so my doctor gave me steroid pills, and I just today took the last of the cycle, and today until I started to get dressed, my shoulder's feeling about the best it's felt since I separated it. I mean, it still hurts through here, my rotator cuff still hurts in here, still grinds and pops and creaks, but it's feeling all right. I mean, it still sucks, but also at the same time, I found the magical number of Tylenol to Motrin ratio. So, yeah, I do not like taking narcotics. I have a family history of addiction. Uncles, cousins, just blood family that have dealt with addiction. And so I try to steer away from that. So I'm not taking narcotics. And it's feeling all right, feeling a little better. But I also haven't gone to work yet. It'll usually I'll get to work and try to use it a little, and it'll start to hurt. But all right. Now we got that out of the way. On to our topic. Starting prepping. Prepping. Being prepared. The act of getting prepared. What are you preparing for? For stuff that's outside the daily norm. Job loss. Injury, where you miss work and you have 2 paychecks that are about half the size of what they normally are. So, stuff like that. That's what I'm going through right now. Okay, I'll let you, if you don't want to speed up, I'll slow down. But, that type of stuff. So the biggest thing, live within your means. Okay? Live within your means. You know what that means? Live within your means, you know what that means. Okay. That means do not be in debt. I understand technically, if you purchase a car, you are in debt. And stuff like that. But make sure if you purchase a car that making that car payment will not stretch you too much financially. Okay? Make sure after you pay every single bill and everything, you still have money left over. Okay? You're not living necessarily paycheck to paycheck. you live within your means. And also, if crap happens, know what you can do, what you can get rid of to help free up money. Like, don't get into ironclad contracts where you have to, pay all this money to get out of it. Like Netflix. It's around $10 a month now? You can cancel that. Other subscriptions, like, of course, I have Netflix, I have Vudu, but Vudu has free TV shows and free movies with ads, but also it's all those digital copies you get, you put those on Vudu. So, live within your means. Okay, do you really need that movie that'll be coming on Netflix in a couple months? Do you really need to buy that $30 movie, Blu-ray, DVD, digital combo? Do you really need to buy that when it's coming on Netflix in a few months? Okay? Basically, like budget. I'm not going to get big into budget, but live within your means. Do not stretch yourself too thin financially. Know how to cut corners financially. Know how to, what was I trying to say? Know how to stretch your dollar. Okay, do you really need to go eat that $30 meal when you can swing past a fast food restaurant and get it's a veteran group talk on Facebook I'm in. But do you really need to go eat that $30 meal when you can go eat off the dollar menu for $5 and actually get more food? Weigh stuff like that. Okay, so being financially responsible and living within your means, so that if something does come up, you're not sitting there debating, okay, should I not pay the electric bill or should I not pay the rent/mortgage? Okay. And also talk to, like, let's say if you have a mortgage, talk to your bank and see if they have emergency stuff like the government employees right now. See if they have things for job loss to where you can, say, set your mortgage back 6 months and not pay it for 6 months with notification to them. See if you can do that. See if you have leeway in some stuff. If you're renting and you have a landlord, ask them, be like, look, if for some reason, if I lose my job, can I go, a couple months, or can I go ahead and pay an extra $100? Can I go ahead and pay an extra $100 on my month or on my rent every year? Let's say if your rent's $800, can I pay $900 a month? That way, if something happens after, 9 months, if you're paying, or 8 months, you basically have a free month of rent. Be like, can I do that? Can I pay the extra $100 a month? That way I'll basically have a free month of rent if something happens, and save that up. And, talk to them. Also, another big one that's really good to have is food storage. So, live within your means in food storage. So the food storage, if there's a sale on, green beans, let's say the store has them for 33 cents a can, the regular size can, and you normally buy 4 cans to last you a payday, that's 2 a week. Why not start buying 5 or just if they're normal price, why not buy 5 or 6 and put them in the back of your pantry? Or if they're on sale for 33 cents, why not buy 10 cans? And just set them in the back of your pantry. Meat, if they're having a meat sale, why not buy an extra thing of meat? Or just regular, they have the tubes of ground hamburger. Why not buy one of those each payday and just stick it in your freezer? Okay, so if something happens where, let's say, there's a blizzard and you can't get out, you're gonna have food. Or there's a job loss. Or let's say a car breaks down and you have to use your grocery money. You have to use your grocery money to fix the car. You're gonna have that backup food. You're gonna have the canned goods in the pantry. You're gonna have meat in the freezer because they had sale on it and you stuck them in the freezer. Okay, stuff like that. And you can also get into the vacuum seal, which you can get a vacuum sealer for fairly cheap, to vacuum seal meat individually to help it last a little longer. Really, lady, you got on my rear end, got around me, hopped in front of me just to slow down. And now you're on the guy's rear end in front of me. Ugh, some people's children. But yeah, why not do that? Why not, if you buy spaghetti, buy an extra thing of spaghetti, buy some dried beans, the things that keep forever, rice, dried beans, pasta, stuff like that. Why not have some of that? And you can buy a can of spaghetti sauce for $1, 88 cents to $1, a big can of spaghetti sauce, like the actual Ragu style, that's the name brand, but Hunt's, whatever, of the spaghetti sauce already made up. All you gotta do is heat it up, and that is a dirt cheap meal. That is a dirt cheap meal that you could throw together for dirt cheap and very, very easily, that you can have just sitting in your pantry that'll keep for a while. Okay. Also know how to tell if food's gone bad. Okay, they're not necessarily expiration dates now, they're best by dates. That is to cover the company for freshness. Okay, you can have a canned good that is past its best by date. I've eaten food past its best by date, and it was perfectly fine. Okay, if it's a canned good, look at the can. Is there rust on the can? Is there swelling on the can? Is the can dented? Is the can, bulging? Is the can leaking? Does the can have a hole in it? And if you open it up, is it miscolored? Does it have mold growing on it? Is there a weird odor? Okay, so that's right there. If you're doing this stuff, you're living within your means and stuff, you're already most of the way to prepping with the food storage and stuff. So just buy extra stuff. Heck, you can get a bag of beans for under $1 at a big box store. You can get a bag of beans for under $1. Throw that in the back of your pantry. It takes up hardly any room. Or if you have a shelf, just say get a freaking basket or something on the very bottom of your pantry, and every time you buy something for food storage, throw it in there. Throw it in that basket. When that basket's full, get another one. And periodically go through it and be like, okay, well, this is getting a little old, I'm going to use that. Stuff like that. It's very easy to get distracted with the debate between MREs and freeze-dried food and all that stuff. They both are good to have. So don't sit there and say, oh, I need to get into prepping, so I have to buy all this freeze-dried food. No. I have extra food in my pantry. I have MREs. I have freeze-dried food. Heck, a box of protein bars is food prep. A protein bar is a meal in and of itself, calorie-wise. So, stuff like that. Also, if you have kids, buy a freaking bag of those little dum-dum suckers. Okay? In an emergency, that'll help your kid. Like, I have tornadoes in my part of the country. We have that in our emergency kit, so that he could, if my 7-year-old, which we haven't had to do this in a couple years, but we'll give him one of those, and it kind of helps calm him down. I also have the astronaut ice cream, the freeze-dried ice cream for him. I have stuff like that, so it's something that's like, ooh, this is a treat. So I have stuff like that. So food storage, living within your means. Also, with the living within your means, financially save money. Okay, get a savings. Figure out and stick to it. Be like, okay, I'm going to put $100 a paycheck into my savings account and not touch it. Okay, that's prepping. Having a savings account that you put money into is prepping. Okay. Also, we have at my house we have a heater. We have heating and AC. We also have fans. We also have heaters that we'll buy at the end of winter. We'll go and they'll be 75% off. So we'll buy like one of those tower heaters that's also a fan, nice one with remote and everything. We have those in case our heater goes out. In case our heater goes out, we also have extra blankets. We'll go to a thrift store and buy like a comforter for $5. Stuff like that. Blankets have extra sheets. So also tools. Nothing. You don't have to have anything fancy. Just hand tools. So I don't know what part of the country you live in, but if you live in hurricane areas, you would be a complete bumbling idiot not to have a hammer, nails, a drill, screws, screwdriver, stuff like that. 2x4s, and also plywood to cover your windows. Just have that on hand. If you know you're going to need it, have it on hand. Okay, and this is just, I'm not talking about getting into detailed prepping. This is just getting ready for prepping. Also, disaster kit, aka bug out bag, and there's so many different. There's the inch bag, I'm never coming home bag. There's the get home bag. There's the the bug out bag. There's the disaster kit. I basically have a bug out bag, and then I have a get home bag. I don't necessarily have an inch bag, because my I'm never coming home bag would be my bug out bag, and then I have a bunch of freeze-dried food and MREs in bags that also, each bag with my also your food storage. Oh wow, someone ran over there. It looked like a pillow with green foam. But I with my food storage, my MREs and freeze-dried food, I have, of course I have cases of MREs, and then I have boxes full of number 10 cans. But then I'll buy duffel bags that I find on clearance at big box stores and sporting goods stores. So I'll get those and I'll fill them up. I'll put MREs in there. I'll put freeze-dried food in there. I'll put a fire-making kit in that bag. I'll put a knife in that bag. I put a can opener in each bag. Heck, a can opener you can get at a big box store for $1. I mean, usually every couple months I'll buy another can opener. My wife's like, another one? I'm like, yeah, you'll be saying that when we need one and don't have one. But every single of one of my bags, I have a can opener. I have a fire making kit in. My fire making kits consist of it's a pill bottle, and it has one of those mini big lighters in it. It has matches in it. It has a ferro rod in it. I also have some Tinder in a separate pill bottle, which my Tinder is not the dating app. It is a cotton ball dipped in Vaseline, petroleum jelly. Stick it in the pill bottle and just keep dipping cotton balls in the petroleum jelly and put them in there until the pill bottle's full. And that's Tinder. I also have road flares in my kits to light fires with. So, but each one of my food storage bags, I have a mixture of food storage. I also have bottles of water in each one. And I have ways to purify water in each one. That way, if I grab a bag, I have an assortment. So my I'm never coming home bag is not one bag. I grab my bug out bag, and then I grab as many as my food storage bags as I possibly can. So, and all my food storage is in one location. But let's work on probably the one you're going to end up needing the most right now would be a get home bag. Now, it depends on your location. It depends on your climate. It depends on the time of year. Basically, the staples you need is something to eat and some water. In my get home bag, I have a field stripped MRE. I also have a couple power bars. I have some water. Right now it's winter. I have a can of de-icer. I have an ice scraper. I have a couple scarves, a beanie, a cold weather face mask, gloves, pocket knife, stuff like that. Just stuff I can use. Let's say my vehicle breaks down. It's something I can grab. Maybe keep some extra cash in it. So that, let's say, if you break down, you can grab that bag. Go if you need gas or something. You can, it's a get home bag. It's to get home. Like if something happened and I had to hoof it home, I'm grabbing that bag. And of course, I have a couple other things in my van that I would grab, and I'm on my way home. So that's the get home bag. It's something you need. Something like, let's say you work in an office. You can, just a small bag you can keep in your desk. But like, oh crap, I have to get home. You just grab it. You can keep it in your vehicle. I have a locker room at work. I don't keep it in my locker, but on days when inclement weather, I will take it inside with me. Real quick, bug out bag. You're gonna need something to make fire. You're gonna need a change of clothes. Also, get home bag, probably have a change of clothes. You're gonna need a change of clothes. Make sure you have socks, underwear, a shirt. I have a bright colored shirt in my bug out bag because the majority of situations you find yourself in, you're probably gonna end up needing signaling. So, of course, I have my fire making stuff. I have more than one way to make fire. I have a couple different blades in there. I have an extra belt. I have signaling devices, whether it's a road flare to use for signaling, bright colored cloth, one of the space blankets. You're going to want some sort of shelter or shelter making material. And that could be a blanket, wool. I highly suggest, if you do have a blanket, that you use wool, because wool retains its temperature, it retains its heat keeping ability even when it's wet. Poncho, some poncho, rain jacket, something of that sort. I do have a mini machete in there. Actually, a couple extra belts. Binoculars, food, just stuff like that. Stuff that I use mine more kind of like a emergency kit. I also have one of those mini pry bars you buy at Walmart. It's kind of flat. It's like a crowbar, but kind of flattened out. I have one of those that can be used as a splint. Medical supplies. You're going to want medical supplies, and that can be. You don't have to get all into heavy duty stuff. My first bug out bag was just stuff I found around the house, and then once you build that, the one you have around the house, then you can start slowly replacing items but you want multitaskers, okay? You want multitaskers. And the reason I have that flat pry bar is because I live in Tornado Alley, and anytime a tornado comes, we grab those. How do I know that I'm not going to need to pry a door to get out of the building? You know, how do I know I'm not going to have to use that pry bar as leverage to get a part of a wall that fell on my kid or my wife or myself? You know, how do I know that I'm not going to need that? Not to mention it can be used as a splint. It can be used in self-defense. It has a little thing in it so I can turn the gas off in my house if I have to. So a whistle, that's part of signaling. So yeah, you can do all that stuff, and it's just, you know, also have some hygiene gear. Why is this so fuzzy? So yeah, it's a lot easier than you think to get involved into prepping. Live within your means. Start a savings account. Start just buying a couple extra things. You know, spend another $10 a paycheck at the grocery store. You know, another $10 at the grocery store. Buy one extra of canned goods and stuff and just stick them in the back of your pantry. Get a disaster kit, just one of your kids' old school bags, or just a cheap backpack, or I highly recommend a backpack, but a duffel bag will work in a pinch. And just, you know, throw a blanket in there, a change of clothes, a knife, just a few medical supplies, which can be, you know, gauze, hydrogen peroxide, Neosporin, and these can be store brand. Neosporin, Band-Aids, you know, a couple comfort items, hygiene products, you know, just an extra toothbrush, toothpaste. I mean, you can legitimately start prepping today and probably spend less than $20 just with stuff around your house. You can build a bug out bag today for less than $20 just with stuff around your house. Okay? And the $20 I'm thinking of is maybe if you run to like the dollar store and buy a toothbrush, toothpaste, a box of Band-Aid, you know, stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking. So you can start prepping today, build a bug out bag, and also live within your means. I mean, live within your means. Stop overextending yourself financially. But I'm babbling on and on and on, and people in the parking lot start looking at me, and I have to go into work. So, bye.